Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Patty Over 60. What happens when it's necessary for your full-time retirement to become part-time retirement? And at the age of 60 plus, you are back out there looking for work. Don't go away. We're going to talk about it. Okay, so just a very quick Reader's Digest version of my information that's leading up to the decision to make my full-time retirement, part-time retirement. Okay, let's see how I can quickly do this without boring you. I was working for a call center, working remote from home, then COVID hit, then I retired in September, which was planned to retire anyway, and I just went ahead and did it. So for the last year and a half, I was either working from home or being retired from home. And then I decided I missed being out there around people. Maybe the quarantine had something to do with that, but I really missed being out there. I didn't have enough to occupy myself at home. And so that, plus the fact that my side hustle wasn't quite supplementing my retirement check as I had hoped it would at this point, I went ahead, I prayed on it, I talked to my husband and made the decision I'm going to go back to work part-time. And that is where we are now. What I'd like to do, however, is kind of take you along with some of this, because I think that some of you guys out there, whether you're looking for a brand new job or you are looking to get back into the workforce, this might help you take some steps to get ready for that new job of yours. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to tell you some of the things that I'm doing to get prepared. All right, so we are going to start here. And what my first suggestion is, and what I'm going to do first, is I am going to go in and update my resume. You want to make sure that everything in your resume is the most recent. So check that address, that phone number, look through everything, make sure everything looks good. Make sure the dates are all good. And you know, I always read it to myself out loud just to make sure it sounds good as well. And also, I do suggest that you update your objective. And I am going to make my objective. So I put here that my objective is to use my extensive background in the medical pharmacy field to acquire a part-time job in a hospital medical office environment. I do want to change this to customer service. Whoops. Is to use my extensive background in the medical, pharmacy, customer service field to acquire a part-time job in a hospital medical office environment. I'm going to change this to or. Now, again, I change it based on what I'm applying for. If I'm applying for something that is not medical at all, I'm going to basically let them know that I'm just looking for a part-time job where I can use my experience and so forth. So anyway, now that I've got this updated, I'm going to go ahead and save it. And again, just making sure that everything looks good. All right, so we're going to pull up Indeed.com. And when you go in there, as you can see, you can put in where you want to locate your position or where you want that job to be. And then there's a place for keywords. You can put in part-time. And they are going to bring up jobs for you. There is also a place here to kind of narrow down your search. So date posted, let's see here. Date posted gives you these options: 3 days, 7 days, last 24 hours. Within how many miles? I am not going 25 miles away. I will say within 10 miles. I'm not worried about putting in the salary estimate filter. I do want to make sure that it is a part-time, however. And as you can see, let me go back over here. Last 24 hours. Let's see what's posted in the last 24 hours. So I have Winter Garden, which is not far from me. And I have part-time, within 10 miles, last 24 hours. And you will see it will pull up all kinds of positions. Also, it does save your recent searches, so you can always go back through there. And just some of the things that are available within 10 miles of Winter Garden. Professional pet caregiver. If I didn't have to deal with the pet owners, I would love that. But anyway, as you can see, there are a lot of positions here. I can tell you that when I went shopping a couple of days ago to the mall, I absolutely saw we're hiring signs in almost every place. I saw them in Target. I saw them at Ross. I saw them in Marshall's. I mean, everyone is hiring. However, you need to make sure that you are looking for what you want to do. Anyway, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead, pull up some of these positions and see what their information is. And Indeed.com does, of course, allow you to apply online. You can download your resume on Indeed.com, and it will populate those areas in the application for you, which is great because there's nothing worse than having to put all of your information in several times. Now, because I do have a medical background, I am also going to the hospital career sites as well to look for positions. And this is one of our hospital groups here, as you can see, and they basically do the same thing. You can pick part-time and facility shift. I'm going to go over here for shift because I want first shift. Come on, first shift. There we go. And then you search. And then this brings up all the positions here. And there are a couple of them here that I'm actually going to apply for. So anyway, now that I have narrowed it down to a couple of different things that I want to apply for, that is my next step. Application time. Now, if you have watched any of my thrifting videos before, you know that my office is a hot mess. I am sorry, I did need to do a little bit of this video from my office. So pretend it's a beautiful beachy landscape or a beautiful forest behind me. Anything but the mess that's back there. Anyway, so what I'm going to do first is I am going to take you through the steps, as I said, that I am going through to get ready for my job hunt. Now, my previous background has been totally the medical field ever since my very first job out of high school, and either hospital work or pharmacy work in some form or fashion. That's just another little background for you as well. But here we go. We're going to jump into what I'm doing to get ready for my job hunt. All right, so I am a list maker, and what I did is I picked up a pad of paper and a pen, and I decided to make two columns, a pro column and a con, pros and cons of different types of jobs, what would be good about them, what would be bad about them. And that is to help me kind of narrow down my search. So I'm just going to show you really quick. This is my pros and cons. Some of the things that I did for my pros and cons will be, is it close to home? Is it really far away from home? Am I going to have to handle money? What are the hours? What are the pay? And pay is important because since I am retired, I can't make too much or else Uncle Sam will get jealous. What is the stress level? Is it a high stress? Is it low stress? For the last 40 plus years, I was in a high stress position. I want a little low stress, I think. And anyway, those are some of the little things that I looked at when I made my list. As I have a medical background, although I wouldn't mind branching out to something different, I have never worked retail, and I have a bit of a phobia about working a cash register. Maybe it's because I absolutely hate math. And even though the cash register tells you everything you need right now, I have a phobia of numbers. They freak me out. So we're not going to do cashier unless we absolutely have to. So anyway, get that list going. Some of the jobs that you're considering, make pros and cons, and review this before you start your search. That way you'll know which ones you might want to apply for and which ones are just absolutely not going to work for you. Okay, I applied to 3 positions at a couple of the hospitals here, and now it's the waiting game. I wait to see if I hear back from anybody, but there are things that you can do while you are waiting for that important callback. I'm going to go into that in my next video. But I thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been helpful for you. Did I stumble over my word? Gosh, I hope I don't do that in my interviews. Anyway, if you have any questions, concerns, suggestions, please go ahead and leave them in the comment section down below. If you have not already subscribed, I hope you will do so, and be sure and get that bell notification so that you will know when my next video is ready to be watched. Anyway, that is it for now. I've got some things I've got to do, and I will talk to you guys later.